You're watching Griffon Sports Insider, presented by Spine and Sport Physical Therapy. Now, here are your hosts, Brett Esely and Ryan Menley.
Griffon Football enters October on an unbeaten run, while past greats get one more moment in the sun. Griffon Soccer tries to solve a long line of injuries, while that Zuerlein guy continues a longer line of history. All that plus parenting tips with the Partridge family, that's on GSI, and it starts right now. Hello, back for another week. Mad at the Chiefs? It's okay, it's still time to jump on the Missouri Western football bandwagon, Brett Esely.
I'm mad at the Chiefs, but you know what? Still undefeated, up 2 spots in the AFCA football poll. The Griffons gun for 6-0 this weekend on the road at Northeastern State.
The now 5th-ranked Griffons, that's what they are, the highest ever. Their journey to 5-0 last weekend was entertaining. The Griffons went from blowout to nail-biter and back to blowout in about a 3-minute time span. Take a look. Week 5, Spratt Stadium, undefeated Griffons hosting Central Oklahoma in the Wendy's Hall of Fame game. Hall of Fame class of 2012, welcome home. Griffs do get going early. First quarter, Tyron Crock ran his own reverse a couple weeks ago. This one a little bit more legit. Gets a huge block from Mike Hill on the way to a 22-yard score, 7-0 Western. Defense putting the clamp down on UCO in the first half at least. Ben Jackson gets his first pick of the season. D-line, meanwhile, combined for 4 sacks and held the MIAA's second leading rusher, Joshua Birmingham, in check. Also, Chicks dig Max Griffin. Travis Partridge digs Reggie Jordan when it comes to the end zone. This is his 4th touchdown catch of the season. 14-0 Griffs in the second quarter. Later, Griffs in the red zone again. Partridge this time puts his legs to work. He's gone. 17-yard score. Western beating up the Broncos, 21-0 at halftime. Third quarter, more ground game from number 12. Shows off a shimmy, and he's gone again. This is going to be a 45-yard touchdown run. Then he decides to do a little excessive celebration with the cannon. You know, you can't do that. It's going to get you a penalty flag. It's also probably not the smartest thing to do anyway. Made doubly unsmart when having to face Papa Partridge. Can you share what your dad said to you at all?
I cannot share that. Don't do that. That was not very smart. Not like that. I think he passed the coach-player barrier and moved into the father-son one there. So,
nevertheless, Griffs would be up 28-0 in this game, but UCO would not roll over and die. Instead, they tried to stage a dramatic fourth-quarter comeback with 2 late touchdowns. This one fumbled. The Broncos recover in the end zone to make it a 31-23 game with under 2 minutes to play. UCO would have a chance to get the ball back 30 seconds later. Griffons faced with a 4th and 1. They decide to go for it and try to end the game. Well, that worked out. Mike Hill, 30 yards to pay dirt. He had 143 yards on the night. This touchdown puts the game out of reach. And then the Griffons turn a former blowout, turn close game, back into a blowout with a Mike Jordan pick 6 to end the game. Missouri Western wins a weird one, 45-23 the final. They improved to 5-0 for the 2nd time in the Jerry Partridge era. A nice milestone, but there's still a lot of work left to do.
oh, it feels awesome. I mean, you're always going to have a game that's going to go your way, so it's good that we can actually persevere through this and actually get the W tonight.
Being 5-0, it's awesome. I mean, our mentality for the year was come out and win every game. That's just the mentality we have, is we want to win all the time.
It's a special feeling anytime you get 5-0 in anything. I know I've never been in my whole life, so this is special. I'm going to take the win. A win is a win, but we got a lot of work to do.
You know, we definitely aren't quite where we want to be at just yet. We have a lot of high expectations on this team, so we just got to keep working.
I don't like how we're finishing right now. I don't think we're finishing the way we need to finish. I don't think we necessarily played great the last 2 games. The other teams have gotten up for us and played well. We are finding ways to win games, but we have to play better here the next 6 weeks.
It was Jerry Partridge on Saturday. This is Jerry Partridge today. It's a lot easier to nitpick a 5-0 team when you're 5-0 and just say, oh, we're playing bad.
Well, I like to revisit that statement. I don't think we played bad. I think the last quarter and a half we weren't as good as we could be. I think that was what was fresh on my brain when you caught me after the game. I cooled down a little bit, but I wasn't very appreciative of how close it got. I'm appreciative of how we finished it. But we really played well for about 2.5 quarters. Really played well, and
a lot of good highlights again. One of them that sticks out to me, Kyle Knox in the passing game. We've kind of mentioned him a little bit before. It's his first 100-yard receiving game. I know you get the question, go-to receiver a lot. But Kyle Knox is a guy. You need a big 3rd down. You need him to get open. He just seems to be open, doesn't he?
Well, it seems to be he's open because of the type of coverage somebody's running, the routes we're running, those type of things, and maybe who they focus on. I don't know. but he's always one of those guys. It seems like he's always open. And right now, Travis is getting the ball to him at big moments. He's not really a go-to guy per se. I think they're all got their, Terrell had 5 catches, but I'm really happy for him because he's stuck with it. He's been persistent. He's fought through some injuries. He's fought through people in front of him, and he's having a really good senior year. And that's, to me, that's always a great thing for a program when a kid hangs in there and in his 5th year he does well. He's one of those kids too. He's so hard himself. He makes a mistake, he is ready to choke his own self out.
Speaking of choking oneself out, you and Travis had a little talk on game film session there.
I think we're making way too much of that, but if we're going to have props out there, I think we have to expect that a little bit. Honestly, I think the fact that it was synchronized and it was, he didn't do it intentionally, but it involved the prop, I think why. Otherwise, you just punch in the air without that thing.
Yeah, there was a delay, though. He kind of waited for it. I think that's where the flag comes from.
To me, it's a little questionable. It's just to involve the prop and it was synchronized, but I let him know that we don't need that.
Well, midway through the 3rd quarter, you probably didn't think, gosh, we're up 31-7. I'm going to have to make a crucial call late in the game. But you did. 4th and 1, 4th and maybe less than 1, 30-yard line. We've had this conversation a lot. Dick Vermeil back in the Chiefs days, he punted so many times, and I think it burned him every time. You've been in that situation before. I think you've gone for it every time, and you've gotten it every time. And boy, did we get it on Saturday.
It was the only decision to make, really, to go for it right there and end it. Get the first down, you kneel on, it's over. And he broke a touchdown. We had a lot more things afterwards. But yeah, 31-7. We have it on cruise control. I feel like it's 3 scores, 3 2-point conversions. We fumble. I really didn't think they'd drive and score twice, let alone get both 2-point conversions, and they did. And we ended up in a game moment. We got our hands team, and we got lucky to get the ball.
Taylor Anderson kicks a 45-yard field goal late, which is a key field goal at the time, but which is a big field goal. And then earlier he misses a 40. You're not putting this kid in too many great confidence-building situations. He had to miss a 47-yarder. You had him at a 53-yarder in the first 2 weeks, and then a 40-yarder last week. Just talk about.
Well, I look at it as confidence building situations. I'm going to go out there and show he can do it. But he's the Missouri Western kicker, and he's a good kicker, and he's got the ability. And his kicker coach Jay White says he can make it, so we're going to put him out there and see if he can do it. And yeah, I'm like you when you talked off air. When he missed a 1, it's like, come on, can you not make those? We got a little spoiled, but he came back in that next one with a big moment and showed his mental toughness and made it.
See Greg Zuerlein wearing the Missouri Western shirt in the post-game interviews yesterday?
I had a little text conversation with him, thanking him for it, and he's been told by the NFL he can't do it anymore. He's gonna be lighter in his wallet.
This is your second 5-0 start. This time, though, this year, you haven't trailed in a game. Have you ever been in a situation like that where you haven't trailed before 5 weeks? It would only be the one time.
No, and I'd rather not talk about it. I think it's a lot like a no-hitter, and I think you're trying to blow a no-hitter again.
You brought it up first.
I jinx those all the time. I didn't bring that up, folks, just so we don't get that out of the way.
We've started games well. We're ready to go to start offensively, especially, and I think defensively, obviously, too. And so we've played well. Our worst quarter right now is the 4th quarter. Now, part of it is we're up big. We're nursing clock. Defensively, we're not playing quite like we should probably in the 4th quarter. We got to finish the whole way through, and that's why I say I don't know that we've played our best football yet. I think certainly the passing. We're gonna have some big passing games. It's going to happen, and I think that I'd like to see us play a full 4 quarters.
Well, let's hope that happens this weekend against Northeastern State in Oklahoma. We'll talk more about the Riverhawks.
The Riverhawks. You got it right.
We'll talk about them when we come back.
I met Gerald in 2010. He came to me after an injury he sustained in Afghanistan back in 2008. And he described to me as he was in his Humvee and got blown up by a roadside bomb, and that he broke his back, he broke his hip, separated his shoulder. Working with a Special Forces soldier, to think about the demands that he's got to go through. It's a whole nother concept of training like the pros.
So I've had really good progress. It's been amazing, especially coming up here, working, utilizing the pool for the buoyancy factor, especially at the beginning, to kind of help the actual healing process. I've kind of transitioned from actual mobility to stability, and lately onto strength and resistance and cardiovascular training.
And it took him 2 years and multiple surgeries. But it was fun to see him go from broken to back in the Special Forces doing what he does best, and that's serving the country. And he was a great inspiration to all of us to see him go through that transformation.
Stick 'em, ha ha ha, stick 'em. Stick 'em, ha ha ha, stick 'em. Gonna run the beat.
Well, it's time for the new favorite segment on Griffon Sports Insider. We're up for an Emmy, beatboxing with Bo. Bo, you're 2-0 so far. We're heading out on the road this week, Tahlequah, Oklahoma. What's it going to be, Griffons in Northeastern State?
Well, sports fans, I'm feeling a big score this week. I see the score 182 Griffons, 5 for Northeastern.
182-5. Have you studied tape on Northeastern State? What's your reasoning there?
Well, I talked to my good friend Jerry Partridge. He assured me that it would be nothing but total pain.
Well, I'm not sure that's physically possible that score can happen, but
you've created a monster.
I know. I apologize.
You've created a monster.
Northeastern State this week, 0-5 on the season, just got beat 66-6 at Northwest last weekend. That's kind of a scary score there for multiple reasons, but you have to go there on their homecoming. Just talk about going to play the Riverhawks.
Well, I think they're going to be desperate. I think they're going to be, the wounded animal backed into a corner. The wild, that's the most dangerous animal there is, and I think that they're going to play. They got too good of football players, too good of coaching staff not to come out and compete. I don't really understand why they're where they're at. I mean, you watch film a little bit, and there's some lack of execution, and they're just missing a little bit right now. And they're going to get it together sometime this season. I just assume they'll wait till after next Saturday. I mean, they've got several Oklahoma State transfers. They got a nice linebacker. They got 2 good backs. The quarterback had a great year last year. They got a kid that started Oklahoma State at left tackle. They got good receivers. I mean, they have a lot of things they do well. They've been in every game.
They've played Pitt State. They've played at Northwest. They played at Washburn, and so certainly they've had some very good tests. Another unique thing about Saturday: first time we've played during the day all year. Is there any significance to that? Do you worry about that at all?
Well, I got a little concerned about it, but we practice it in the afternoon anyway, and so the only thing you'd worry about is heat, maybe balls getting the eyes. I guess we're out there practicing during that time of day anyway, so. I have no idea. I can't remember. We played there when I was an assistant in '95. It was a night game. I don't know which way the stadium turns, whether we'll have to deal with the sun, looking into the sun on punts. I don't know which way it goes. So we probably need to work on a little sun catching this week. There's little things that people don't realize that goes into it, but we need to try to work on a little bit.
Talk about a position group that's playing very, very well on the defensive side of the ball, and that's the corners. We've got 4 guys that can play. You got Ben Jackson, who could have been the National Player of the Week. Mike Jordan has a pick 6. Jeremy Weston, an All-League player last year, having a good year this year. And Marcus Thompson, a guy, breaks his leg last year. You never know if you're going to get those guys back, if they'll be the same. He's played very well, too.
I'm pleased with all 4 of them. I know Coach Trotter is, too, and they've really played well. It's credit that well Reggie's coached them, but they all compete well. They tackle well, every one of them. Had a lot of big pass breakups. We've had big interceptions by that group, and we're as deep as anybody 1 through 4 there.
Offensive side of the ball, Mike Hill's had a lot of attention this year, rightfully so. Leads the nation in rushing, but this offensive line has a lot to do with that. 5 fifth-year starters when Brian Childs gets off of injury, but the backups have done well. Everything's filled in. Really, one word to describe these guys is solid.
It takes a special mindset because you don't get any glory, but you're busting your hump, so the guys behind you can do their job.
You definitely got to be physical. I mean, you got to have that physical mindset, getting after it every play.
One thing you can't coach is experience. You have to earn it, and that's great having 5 seniors that were all returning starters, and they've been through the fire, and they've seen things, and at the game speed level.
Just talk about the job Coach Throckmorton's done.
Well, they are solid. They're cohesive. They play in unison. I think Todd Throckmorton is certainly one of the best offensive line coaches in America. Plus, they're pretty good. I mean, Macon Allen's a first-team all-conference guy. Colt Schultz, he's a big guy that runs well. Mike Yardley has done a great job at center. Nick Clark has really improved and gotten better and better and better. And Jeremy Jacobson has stepped in for Chili. Chili has a great shot to be back this Saturday. And we might get Travis Anderson back too. But Throck's one of those guys, if you got 18 of them and the 18th guy can't play, Throck's going to work an 18th guy and make him better, where he can at least be a 16th or 15th or something he can play. That's who he is. He comes in and punches the time clock, and someone a long time ago must have told him to be the last one to leave the office, and he is. He's the last one every time. He's not necessarily the first guy in, but he is.
I can relate to that.
He's going to be the last guy. He's a little bit like you, Millie. He's got some vampire tendencies.
You leave when the first person comes in, typically, I think.
Yeah.
Well, Coach Pete, pretty important part of the show right here. I know you probably lose sleep at night over this. This is Esely's tantalizing trio. These are good questions this week, guys.
Very intimidating.
This is the Fall October edition right here. Got to ask you, real refs are back in the NFL, but Monday night, I think the thing that bothered me about the call at the end of the Seahawks-Packers game the most is the replay official said it was inconclusive to overturn that call. Do you agree with that play?
Absolutely not. It was not inconclusive, and I think they have to change. To me, they ought to review everything other than penalties.
Switch sports, and you and I have no dogs in the fight, but you like the second playoff team in baseball? And if you do, Should it be more of a series, or are you okay with a one game?
I don't like the one game. I don't like it. I think it needs to be a little mini series, 2 out of 3 or something. I don't think that's right. To play a 162 game schedule, figure out we're going to do something, you play one game. No, I don't like it.
And finally, we're with the calendar saying October, we're a little ways away from Halloween, but does the Partridge family, have they carved pumpkins in your lifetime? You do that?
I think Lindsay and Pam have done it, but no, we're not. The 2 males were never into carving pumpkins.
I would think less of you if we actually did carve pumpkins, so that's good.
Team Tahlequah.
Yep,
Tahlequah,
yes.
America? That's, yes.
Northeastern State on Saturday. We'll be right back.
She takes headaches away with her bare hands. Men run thousands of miles for her without ever leaving the room. She once helped a woman avoid carpal tunnel surgery by serving up drinks with a twist. She is the most helpful physical therapist in the world.
I don't always go to physical therapy, but when I do, I prefer Spine and Sport.
GoGriffons.com, powered by Spine and Sport Physical Therapy.
Train like the pros, my friends.
Got it up long enough. And it's good.
You know, he was stupid good when he was here. It was only a matter of time before Greg Zuerlein began his assault on the NFL record books. The leg booted 4 field goals in the St. Louis Rams win over the Seahawks Sunday, including a 58-yarder and 60-yarder. Both were franchise records. Also marked the first time in NFL history that a kicker has nailed a 50-yard and 60-yard field goal in the same game. Zuerlein, a perfect 12 of 12 in field goal attempts. He was the darling of the media in St. Louis. Just check out this press conference.
Are you thinking, send me out, send me out? I won't do this.
Well, I would like to kick it every time, but that's just me.
Were you surprised at the 60 or no when they said get out there for the 60?
No, not at all.
Are you kind of surprised though by the whole, you know, Greg the leg, Legatron, kind of the whole, you know, everything that's going around, all the hype kind of, the fun at least?
No, it's fun, you know, it's a good time, and, you know, it is what it is. I just have fun going out there and playing.
Nice Griffon shirt.
Not bad.
Zuerlein
looked really good to me.
Zuerlein just one season at Missouri Western, but it was a Hall of Fame type of season. I think he would qualify in the one-year Wonder Wing.
But we'll save him a spot. Probably going to need it. Speaking of the Hall of Fame, the Missouri Western class of 2012 took its rightful place in history last weekend.
The honor of being inducted in the Hall of Fame is a really cool one.
Our first inductee was a standout player and coach for the St. Joseph Junior College basketball team from 1951 to 1966. Bob Alcorn helped put the Griffons on the basketball map.
St. Joseph Junior College was a very special place. It gave many of us, like myself, an opportunity to continue school, which wouldn't have been available in any other circumstance.
Our next inductee is one of the most talented offensive players ever to wear a women's basketball uniform here at Missouri Western State. Lisa Hughes holds or has held numerous Griffon records.
I had a brother that also played here, Heath Dudley. He was inducted last year, and it was a great honor for him to be here as well. I told Heath, I said, you came in as a team, which is wonderful, but I came in as an individual, which is even better.
They set the standard for Missouri Western women's basketball. In the 1993-94 season, Griffon women's basketball team finished with a 29-3 overall record, which was the most wins in a season at the time.
You know, all the experiences that you go through as a team, when you have a championship team, the ingredients kind of blend together and they just keep getting stronger and stronger.
Our next inductee was one of the best running backs to ever wear the black and gold for Missouri Western. Ladies and gentlemen, 2012 Hall of Fame inductee, Mr. Tony Williams.
I mean, I came here knowing that I wasn't sure that I wanted to be a Griffon, but I'm sure proud that I am a Griffon today.
Juris Evans was a standout athlete on the offensive side of the ball for Missouri Western football team through his career as a Griffon.
I just want to go ahead and end at least my speech in the best way I knew how. One of the few things that I could remember outside of Coach's playbook and make sure I stay in line to be the best person I possibly could be was this. Fight on, Griffons, and you win the game. Victory, Missouri Western State. Fight on, Griffons, and you win the game. Victory, Missouri Western State. I love you all. Thank you very much.
All right, we're here with Ben Jackson, cornerback, Missouri Western football. We're talking about vertical jump. You know, the vertical jump is something that we use as a measurement of power. It's one of the NFL combine drills, so it's a very important task to train. Functionally, though, as a cornerback, you got to go up and get that interception. So we're going to train that vertical jump with a device called the Vertimax. This is an awesome piece of equipment that they have here at Missouri Western. We got Ben all tied up with his hands, with his arms, with his legs, at his waist, at his core. You know, vertical jump, we a lot of times forget about the arms, but the power of the arms supplies sometimes up to 10% of your vertical. So it's very important that we train that, and the Vertimax gives us resistance to allow that to happen. So Ben's going to demonstrate this for us. He's going to go down into his squat, and as he comes up, he drives his arms up, and he's just going to rapid fire, bam, bam, bam. As he comes down, he's loading his hips, his ankles. This is really key, but now we've got resistance to train that. So he's got resistance in his arms, he's got resistance in his core. That right there is training all parts of the body to improve that vertical, because that vertical is a good measure of power, explosiveness, and that's how we train like the pros at Spine and Sport.
That's Fred Schonkweiler from Spine and Sport Physical Therapy. Tell you what, Ryan, the entire Griffon soccer team may need some physical therapy.
Yeah, you know, they've hit kind of a rough stretch. A 3-match losing streak made rougher because of some key injuries.
Griffon soccer spending Sunday getting physical with Northeastern State of Oklahoma, but it's Missouri Western with a long list of walking wounded. Starting keeper Kelly Voigt's out after suffering a concussion on Friday. Leading scorer Katie Kempf out after going down Sunday in the opening minutes with a knee injury. And Emily Hoffman also with an early exit after splitting her eye open. Blood's not good. 3 starters all down. Short-handed Griff still trying to hang tough though, down 1-0 in the 45th minute, but the Riverhawks get insurance. Elizabeth Cujo scores with 1 second left in the half. Griffins get one back early second half. Sydney Andrews, the penalty kick, scores the first goal of her college career, but it's not enough. This picture basically says it all as the shorthanded Griffins fall 3-1 the final.
When you got 3 starters sitting on the bench, you know, 1 before the game, 1 5 minutes into the game, and then 1 about midway through the game, you know, but you know, that's why we have people that are, you know, they can step up and play. And you know, for as many injuries as we saw today, we can't make that as an excuse. We just got to get better. And I thought we fought hard for 90 minutes. We didn't let that bother us. Now it's just a matter of producing more offense.
It was definitely hard to overcome that. I think we all played hard, and I'm proud of us for, you know, sticking it out, playing tough. You know, it sucks sometimes.
Griffon Volleyball on the road in Topeka this weekend for the Washburn Crossover Tournament. The Griffs currently sit 9-7 on the season. After a strong start, they've cooled off a bit, but the team remains fairly confident.
Our goal right now is to get at least 20 wins. That's our goal right now. And if we play like our potential is supposed to be, we'll definitely get that.
And GSI will be right back.
Spine and Sport Physical Therapy.
Train like the pros, my friends.
He once helped an unbalanced bull by teaching him ballet. He cured a man's foot with plantar fasciitis by playing Go Fish.
You have an 8. Go Fish.
He helped balance a man by playing darts with his eyes. He is the most helpful physical therapist in the world.
I don't always go to physical therapy, but when I do, I prefer Spine and Sport.
Stay healthy, my friends.
We got people, we got flag, we got music. This is the tailgate of the week. Jim, we're here with you all the way from St. Louis. You've smoked all this brisket.
Yeah, we brought it up here for the red shirts and the red shirt players' parents.
Red shirts and red shirt players' parents. And you started with 32 pounds of meat. How much do you have right now?
We got probably a pound and a half left.
Pound and a half left. I love it. You got side items. You got a little watermelon for dessert. Well, Jim, for being our tailgate of the week, you're going to get $50. Compliments of Griffon alum Scott Grant towards your next tailgate. What might you do next time?
Ooh, let's see. Next time we're probably going to do some pulled pork.
Pulled pork. Well, I like that. I'm going to be down here as well. Okay, folks, let's hear you one more time.
Welcome back. Let's get on role play this week. Ready?
You betcha.
Brett, you are the U.S. Ryder Cup team.
Always wanted to be 13 different people.
Yeah, well, and you choked miserably to Europe.
Yes.
What the heck happened Sunday?
We don't care as much about it as Europe does. The European guys, they're making putts. Absolutely. There's no money on the line. Don't care. There's no money on the line. Tiger Woods, boy, I played well. I'm 0-4. I've got an all-time losing record. I didn't want to drink champagne out of the cup anyway. That's overrated. Get me to the next money event. I don't care about anything with no money on the line.
Way to have pride in your country. My turn.
Absolutely. Ryan Menley.
Yes.
You are the Arizona Cardinals. You're 4-0. How?
There's only one reason that I'm 4-0. It's because we trained in St. Joseph for that one day in August.
But how do you explain the Chiefs? They trained here 3 weeks.
Well, you know what? I just said I'm the Arizona Cardinals. I don't care about the Chiefs. Forget them. We're the Cardinals. We're 4-0 because we were in St. Joe.
Love to be 4-0 right now.
All right, Brett, time for the Pick'em segment.
Well, I can't. Did I win this week?
No, you didn't.
What?
Max Griffin's not here this week. You know what? He's got
on
the
sabbatical.
week
He's off.
Because I went 8-0,
off.
so I'm just going to take this.
Boy, congratulations to you. We know you don't do anything else with your time.
No, not at all.
8-0, my goodness.
Undefeated folks get their own titles. I get the overall lead now, too, so look out for that. So, you ready?
Can't wait.
Lay
it on me.
Washburn at Lincoln. We know Washburn's going to win, right? Yes.
Yeah. 107-5.
Okay, all right. Northwest Missouri at Central Oklahoma. Who you got
That's intriguing.
Yeah.
I thought Central Oklahoma, they're not bad.
No,
they're not bad, but I tell you what, I just can't pick against Northwest. That game's close, though. Bearcats won on the road.
Give me Northwest by 20. Central Missouri at Pittsburgh State. Maybe the best MIAA matchup since week 1 with Central and the Griffs.
That's going to be close as well. You know, this is Pittsburgh State's first real test. They were off last week. Got to take them in the jungle, though, don't you? Give me the Gorillas. They beat the Mules.
Yep, give me Pitt as well. Emporia State at Southwest Baptist. Who you got there?
You know, that's intriguing, too.
No,
SBU wins at Missouri Southern.
Yes.
But you know what? Give me the Hornets. It's sloppy. It's on grass. But Emporia State survives. They moved to 6-0.
Hey, I got the overall lead. I'm going to agree with you and just coast. Truman at Nebraska Kearney.
Nebraska Kearney gets their first victory here. They got wiped by Lindenwood last week. But I've seen Truman play. I wasn't terribly impressed. Give me the Loafers. They win.
Give me Truman.
Wow, okay. Yeah, there you go.
That's not a bad pick.
Okay.
Lindenwood at Fort Hays State. Fort Hays got its first win last week.
Is that the longest trip in the MIAA, mileage-wise? I think it is. Lindenwood better leave today to get there. 900-plus miles. Give me Hayes. They win. They make it 2 in a row.
You think so?
They're going to beat Lindenwood.
We'll be different. I'll take Lindenwood on that.
Why wouldn't you?
Big 12, KU at K-State, Sunflower State showdown. There's no chance. K-State's going to win by 50 even in a rivalry.
I would agree with that. That'll be brutal.
SEC, Mizzou, and Vanderbilt. Both teams looking for their first SEC win.
Both teams looking for some offense, too. Give me the Tigers. It's in Columbia. They go to 4-2. On the heels of playing Alabama next week. Do it. Come on.
Vanderbilt.
Wow, Vanderbilt.
Just
playing the guitar in Nashville.
And in the NFL, the Chiefs and the Ravens. If you pick the Chiefs, I'm going to knock you out of this chair.
This is the NFL. Give me the Chiefs. They're going to win. In the spirit of the NFL, they have no chance to win, but it's the NFL. They will win. They'll beat Ray Lewis and the Ravens.
No chance is right. You should have stopped there. The Ravens will win. That's GSI for this week, folks, as always.
Go Griffs.
Clausen will hold no wind to speak of. The kick is up. It is long enough, and it is good! Greg Zuerlein from 57 yards away.
Greg Zuerlein came to me before football season last year. He just had hip surgery. He tore his labrum, which is a piece of cartilage around the hip socket. And in that surgery, they also found out he had a torn quad.
I was still having problems with my leg. And, you know, I wasn't kicking the ball as far, and, you know, I'd always have pain in my leg after kicking.
No one really found the cause of the injury. They fixed the symptom. But when he came to me, we found out that his left leg, his plant leg, was really unstable. The cause of his right hip quad tear was the fact that he wasn't balanced. So we analyzed his technique and his form, and then we went to work.
Working with Fred, he helped me correct that with some of his exercises, and going to his clinic really helped me, you know, my leg to be fresh after kicking, and you know, after working with him a few times, I could tell the pain would start to go away.
We have that training, that background. We have the facilities with the pool, with our technology to really train people how to perform at the highest levels.
I've done stuff that I've never done at any other physical therapy place, and I've been to a lot of physical therapists, so, you know, it helped me, and so I think it'd be a good place to go in the future, and I'll continue to work with him whenever I'm back in town.
1 for 58. High snap. Zuerlein's first NFL kick is
train like the pros. He's been a great person to work with, and exemplifies what we're trying to do here.